Evening, Aaron. I'm just
Hello.
thinking about those your words there, and I was thinking when people go to church and sing together in a church, they'll often feel a sense of community through that and the connection. So that same connection is being made, I think, in how
Yeah.
you're describing.
Yes.
Hmm.
And
What
not
about?
just in a spiritual setting. It
Hmm,
could all be. It could also be good time rock and roll. We don't really know how to say that, but it can be like that. It can be opera. It can be all of these different methods of your singing music.
hmm,
It is not only the spiritual music that enlightens and draws humans together. It's every type of music because the music does not come of its own accord. A human must provide it. So a human first touches an instrument and then it comes forth. So the instrument is only the channeler's device, perhaps you would say, to move their energy forth. If the singer, the musician, has nothing to say, there will be no music coming forth. If they're allowing something to pass through them, then it comes through. So it's just not to just, we're just being precise.
hmm. Yeah, I think with singers, they say you have to sing with emotion in order to captivate the crowd. If you're just singing the notes, then you won't connect with people in the same way. So uh, there's definitely an aspect of that requires some
But there's
personal.
another level. There's another level behind that one,
Mm,
which is the very first time the human, that is the musician, finds out that they are moved when music passes through them. The first time they sing a note or play a note, they are changed, they are altered, they come to understand that they are channels. So it's the first moment. All kinds of weird things happen in the middle, of course, and near
mm,
the end. But the very beginning, the first time they discover it, it's a spiritual experience for them.
mm,
It's an opening, it's an enlightening moment for musicians the first time they realize that what they're able to do.
mm. And how would that same principle apply to connecting with nature?
Now that is a different story, really. So we are speaking of musicians being channels from the universe of love.
Hmm.
Now, when you're speaking of nature, nature is already energy, and it sits patiently and lives and it breathes and has a life of its own, no matter what you do. Where the channel, the musician must touch an instrument for the music to come forth or open their voice. So the instrument itself is dead, it's nothing. But nature itself is alive every moment. It breathes, it lives. So what exactly are you getting at?
Well, you can connect like using an instrument. You're channeling energy to connect with another human, so it'd be a human to human connection. I'm wondering
Yes.
how you could use that energy of nature to connect with nature in the same way.
This is a
Or
this is this is a little bit more complex.
mhm,
So if you are wishing to connect with nature, trees, leaves, all of these things, all you have to do is lie down with them. Lie down in it, lie down with them, or hold them, sit on them, sit in them, and you become one with them because you're able, sometimes you're able to feel them, their sense of aliveness. You're able to feel them breathing. You're able to feel them moving. They are moving all of the time. They are always in motion. They are full of energy. So if you yourself wish to become one with the tree, sit down. Sit down and stay there for a while until you start to feel it and be one with it. This is not precisely what you're getting at, though.
hmm. Well, in a way, I guess I'm looking at the mechanism. If you can use sound as a way of connecting and bringing energy through to make a connection with a human, then I was wondering if you could use natural sound in some way to do the same thing with nature.
Well, you don't really need music or noise. The plants are alive already, and they speak their own language. So if you're interested in plants and life, then become part of their world, not them become part of yours. So if you wish to be one with nature, then be one with nature. Sit quietly with it. They're very quiet.
All right. Thank you. So we do namaste.
Or do you wish to speak of anything else?
Uh,
For yourself this time. These are often things that your mind, you're very curious. So your mind just plucks things out all the time and you can't pluck them all out. So you take one or two of them. But what's really at the heart of you? What is it you wish to ask from the universe of love?
Well, I've noticed today, and even the people around me, have been being a little more depressed, a little more anxious, a little more. It's a different energy than at other times, and I don't know whether it's because of the weather and the fact that we're experiencing fall and it's darker, but it just seems a little more of a struggle this last day or two.
Is that for you? You are struggling to be perky?
Yeah, and I'm noticing other people I'm having similar experience with interacting with others.
But if
they seem to be feeling the same way.
Yes, but if you focus on yourself and you come to understand this and resolve it in some way, then all of a sudden the others will look different. And also they will feel something different when they're around you. So perhaps a little conversation about being affected by nature might be good. As if you are fighting nature. And let us try to explain this in a way. What you are specifically referring to, because you are reasonably balanced emotionally, is being affected by the seasons, the temperature, the trees. They are changing the way that they look, the sunshine, all of these things. So when you are affected in this way, you are truly not becoming one with nature, which is just what we were speaking of. Because if you were one with nature, you would relish the trees that are very thin suddenly. They look scrawny looking. And you would relish the gray in the skies. And you would relish the moisture that is on your feet and on your fingertips every time you go outside. So when you're one with nature, there's no emotional reaction to it, because there doesn't have to be an emotional reaction unless you judge something good or bad. So if you're one with nature and you love to have the grayness and you love to have the wet moisture, then suddenly you're going to be a very happy human being. Because when you are moving around in your world, this is what you find. The trees are scrawny. They look so helpless. The ground is very wet, sloppy. All of these things, you see. So this is a full circular conversation with how do you become one with nature, and why do I feel depressed right now? It has to do with not being one with the seasons. Do you understand what we mean?
I think so.
So when you are noticing this in others, really the only person you can truly notice it in is yourself, because they are reflections of you anyway. So if you are in a very happy mood, all of a sudden everyone's happy. If you're in a very sad mood, everyone's sad. They are just reflections of you, because they bring the energy down or up or whatever it is that you're reflecting, because they don't wish to oppose it. So if you're very, very happy, they'll try to be very happy. If you're very, very angry, they'll try to be very angry. Probably not that one. If you're very, very sad, they'll cry with you. So it's very important for you to understand that you have a large emotional influence over others. Are you aware of this?
I am. I don't think everybody else necessarily follows it. Sometimes I try to bring people up when they're feeling depressed, so I'm not trying to mirror that from them, but trying to influence them to make them more enlivened. Or
Yes, we will make a note of this. When you react the opposite of other humans, you're still drawing attention to their state. If someone is sad and you're particularly happy, you're a polar opposite, which draws the exact attention to the sadness. So if you do the opposite, you're bringing attention to it as the polar opposite. If you feel sad with them, you're mirroring their sadness. If you stay in your state, whatever it is, then they're able to see you clearly as you are, and they can decide what mood they would like to take around you when they realize that you don't change to suit them or try to change them. This is a little bit of a complicated situation. We've got a couple of conversations going on here. One is you're a powerful being, you affect others by your moods. The other is that you, when you mirror their emotions, when you mirror their emotions, it draws attention to their state. When you do the opposite, it draws attention to the state. When you stay in yourself, it does not draw attention to their state, because they are alone with their whatever it is that they have. So then they can decide freely. Do I continue to be sad? They don't seem to notice. Will I change my mood, or will I stay here, or what will I do? Then they can make a conscious decision on their own about their emotional state, and you won't be involved in it. If you're involved in it, somehow they're either mirroring or boomeranging, that's a good word, you thought of it, off of them. So when you're removed and standing as you are, they can live singly. You're two independent beings. Now we've gotten this very precise all of a sudden. So now we've gotten precisely down to you sometimes feel sad when others feel sad, and you think that you are influenced by them, when in fact you yourself make every decision, every emotional decision you have. Now, before let us explain slightly, because that sounds very mean. It sounds inhuman to say such a thing. But when you're able to stay in your place, every other human must stay in their place. And when they stay in their place, they become independent, connected or disconnected, or happy or sad, or whatever it is. But each human being stands alone. When they're able to stand alone, they may stand as one. And again, this sounds crazy, but when you're able to stand alone, then you can work as a group, as a consciousness, because you have made a decision previously. When you feel as if you have no decision, but you're drawn around by your emotions, he's sad, so I'm sad. You're happy, so I'm happy. When you're this sort of person, you only react back and forth. You're really not a centered human being that's able to channel energy, or able to be a whole human being, or understand that your energy during one lifetime, any of this. They're only reflecting back and forth what other human beings are doing. When you're able to stand singularly, then you may choose, I will be one with the collective. The others are not making a choice. They're just drawn into it, sort of by lack of connection, or some sort of notion that they believe that they are a good person if they follow the moods of others or help others or something. Is this understandable?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes. So it's very important. All of this chat is very big story, but back to you, you must stand alone. If you say, I am depressed, then you can decide why. I am depressed because I don't like the gray weather, and I am not one with nature. All right, fine, just say it. Or whatever it is. It's not necessary to say, others are sad, so I must be sad too. And this is not the case for you at all. So I just notice what it is. We've drawn attention to it now, so you've got it. either agree with it, disagree with it, whatever it is, but it's yours. It's your package. It's your feelings, your nature. You've discussed nature during this exchange because it's something that's been niggling at your brain. You couldn't quite get it out. But now we have sort of given a picture to it, a framework where you're able to understand the state you find yourself. And even if others are in the same state as you, it doesn't really matter because many are not in the same state. So there's as many that are, that aren't, so really it doesn't matter. What really matters is you and you noticing what's going on in your life. What do you think of this?
Oh, it makes sense. This is wise advice. Thank you.
Let us do namaste.
Very good. Namaste.